What is going on, guys? Welcome to Thursday Night Outbreak. I'm going to tell you what, there's some crazy things getting ready to happen in this stuff. Lots of stuff on the line, though. Rowdy and Dragonuv getting ready to tie it up. Haven't seen Rowdy in a little bit, but we do know that the leader... Maybe we say what we're doing here. But we do know that the leader is ready to go. Brand new face scan, reworked tattoos. So you're going to see a lot of people with some reworked tattoos, but we're going to go ahead anyway and get this thing started. So Dragonuv, another one. You know, you look back at the history of like Dragonuv and you see some of the things that are happening, and he was a former world champion. Can he start returning to that? He's going to get a shot tonight against the four-time former TCW world champion.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the corporation from Bad Street, Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 306 pounds, the final champ, Rowdy.
But Rowdy Hunt making his way down. You see, too, a brand new look coming out, a little more suitified, if you will. Guys, too, remember why we got a chance. While we got a chance, make sure you go out. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, turn on the bell notifications, but even more important than all that, go out and share this video. That is a thing I didn't even do. So look, while we're doing the intros here, I'm trying to get my shares in as well. You know what I mean? I'm not going to ask you guys to be doing some things that I'm not going to be doing.
From Asgard, weighing in at 198 pounds, the Superstar!
You know, Dragonuv making his way down to the ring has one of the coolest, like, little entrance things that he does. It's called the Dragon Shimmy. You're going to see that here in just a second. While we're doing all that, while we're getting the shares out, while we're doing all this stuff, look at the state of prime time doing the stuff, buying the tickets, bought tickets for everybody, really ended up more than covering the goal that we set forth. Which means we're going to have to do a podcast deep dive. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm excited about that. I've been excited about that. We've been a little bit off on hitting our goals, but now we're going to get a chance to do that. The deep dive. We'll see if we can't get a few people on as well to start doing some stuff. Another thing, too, just a little public announcement. If you are in the SSU and you see Totes over there, Totes is not a good guy over in the SSU. Don't take it personal. Pretty sure there's a couple people over there. They're like, what a jerk this guy is. I'm a heel, though. I'm a heel over in the SSU. Totes is a heel here. You know what I mean? I'm Frankie Two Fingers, but you know what I mean. Totes over there is a heel as well. So, is what it is. But I'm just telling you, don't worry about it. Don't take it personal. Not for the weak at heart over there. And look at the state of this. Obviously, we can see the size difference between the two of these wrestlers. But Rowdy kind of setting up Dragonuv a little, letting him say, oh, look, you're overpowering me. Maybe kind of lulling Dragonuv into a false sense of security. When you look at the state of knowledge of wrestling, Dragonuv, obviously running his own wrestling school, has the knowledge to do the things. And so maybe Rowdy is like, you know, hey, you also have the strength, and maybe using that kind of reverse psychology against Dragonuv there a little bit. And right now, it seems to be working. But look, at the end of the day, you do not, I don't care who you are, you do not want to be on the receiving end of some things that are going on. Yeah, and that's everybody. Just having fun, a little escapism, everybody playing their part. When everybody is playing their part over there, it's a good time. But you can always tell when people start maybe a little bit to take it personal. So I just want to throw it out there. Over here on the TCU side, of course, we do things a little bit different. Look at that. You know, you think maybe that's a spear, but you can see how high up on Dragonuv he hits that. Really, more of that power move, trying to show everybody in the crowd, look, I'm not even spearing you. I'm going right for the chest. We're not going for that midsection there. I'm not trying to fold you in two. I am just trying to bulldoze you over. But brand new look, even in the ring from Rowdy, and you can see kind of taking on the old attitude, the old enforcer attitude when he was with the Horsemen right here. And another big move, that might do it, even though that's not his finisher. But only a 1 count. Look, you know, we said at the top of the match, Dragonuv, former TCW world champion, like maybe he's trying to get back into there. Right now, taking Rowdy's best shots. And still finding a way to fight through it. So, you know, you don't know if this is maybe one of those lessons he's teaching at his wrestling school right now. Is like, hey, let me show you again. Hits him with it again, going high on it. And look, once again, Dragonuv turning it back around and getting back in control. So now you start wondering, is he doing it on purpose? Could he be doing it on purpose? And using his speed right now, using the strength of the dragon, even though he might be a little smaller in size, still having that dragon strength. To fight through. We got a lot of cool stuff. You know, I say there's some shockers going on in this show. We're going to talk about it. It's not all just in the matches. Some of them, yeah, you're going to see some new stuff. You're going to see some reworked tattoos. You're going to see some reworked attires. You might see some new face scans. Some of them, one of them in particular, especially if you were on the Discord, you know we're going to be testing out something. Most of you aren't even going to know what it is. And I'm not going to say what it is, but Monica, if you're watching this later, just know this is a test. Don't get too excited. And look at that, Dragonuv reversing it back around. Rowdy really trying to go for that huge power slam. But Dragonuv able to get back out of it because, look, at the end of the day, that's great. You take that shot, you take a couple of the other maneuvers, but you get that big power slam or you get the Rowdy redemption, your night's going to be over quick. No way around that. And whoa, Dragonuv. We talked about the power of the dragon. Finally that got fixed. Before, somebody would initiate it and it wouldn't work. And look at this. Dragonuv pulling out some new stuff now. Taking off that turnbuckle pad. Is he going to go into using it? No, but Rowdy is. Rowdy throwing him right into that exposed turnbuckle pad. The referee, don't know how she got out of the way of that, but again, Rowdy like a freight train running down the tracks. Showing you, though, he's still got some hops. He can still get up a little bit. And I don't know what Dragonov's trying to do right there. But there it is. Rowdy's redemption rolls the leg. 1, 2. And Dragonuv finds a way to kick out of it. Now Dragonuv has been put in the Rowdy recliner and got out of it. He's been put in Rowdy's redemption and kicked out of it. Don't know how much more he can do to prove to his students just how tough he is. I mean, size is one thing, but Dragonuv has been going up against some of the biggest wrestlers in the business, standing toe-to-toe with them and trying to put on bangers. So Dragonuv now fighting back through it. Rowdy ate an elbow earlier in the match, but now Dragonuv getting him down on the ground as he's starting to wear him down a little bit. Picks Rowdy up. Rowdy just a little bit north, a couple pounds north at 300 pounds. So definitely has some size to him. Dragonuv going up, flipping him over. Thought he might have been going for a pin, but now going for his finisher and putting him in the Dragon Sleeper. Is Rowdy about to go night-night? He was, oh, and this could be his other one. It is. He missed it. Rowdy goes to talk that trash, but Dragonuv gets right back up. That was the Dragon's elbow not finding its mark. And you can see the toll this match so far has been putting on Dragonuv. Going for it again. Went for it a little bit different. I thought that was going to be that clothesline that we saw earlier from Dragonuv. Instead, jumping up, getting a knee, getting a thigh up into the chest of Rowdy. Rowdy trying to get up. Dragonuv wisely trying to keep him on the ground. You can see some blood now coming down through the mask of Dragonuv. What is he doing here? Goes up top, big crossbody. Thought he might have been trying to get back up for that Dragon's elbow. See if it hits the second time. Rowdy, though, fighting through the offense, trying to get back to his feet, and Dragonuv still controlling the match. Rowdy controlled it early on. He controlled the middle of it. Dragonuv has been controlling it late, and Rot-Row SpaghettiOs. That was Dragon's elbow. 2, 3, and Dragonuv comes back to get the win. One of the more interesting things is we have not seen Rowdy come down without the corporate syndicate in quite some time. I mean, does that mean something? And then that's the other thing. We saw Rowdy win the title, but, you know, you really look at some of the things that has happened since Rowdy left. Yeah, he becomes the leader of the syndicate, but not having, you know, loses the world title, wins it, but then loses it pretty quick to Jakai. And it's just one of those things that make you wonder, when he was with the Horsemen, that wasn't going on. The Horsemen, especially like Eagle Star and him, really tight group. Bama then being added, you know, Totes got added to the group later, but Bama then getting added to the group a little later. But really, really good rapport with the Horsemen. And now we're starting to see, you know, maybe some things going down that didn't go down when he was the enforcer of the Horsemen. So interesting that the corporate syndicate didn't come down.
Here is your winner, the Superstar!
And interesting that, you know, almost seems like another mishap happening right here. Dragonuv picking up the win, but... And then you wonder at what price Dragonuv picking up that win as well. You could see blood coming down through the mask. You can see, like, and it looked like early on, you know, he's taking Rowdy's best shots, which is crazy, especially you look at a guy Dragonuv size. But again, it's like one of those things you almost expect. We've been waiting for Dragonuv to kind of come back, return, do the things. Maybe that is what is going on right here. Maybe it's got nothing to do with the other half of it at all. We don't know. So interesting, TCW Women's Hardcore Championship belt on the line right here. There'll be a few titles on the line. We'll see the Women's TV title, the Women's Hardcore title. The Cruiserweight title will be on the line here tonight as well in another four-way match. So that should be very interesting. We're going to see some tag team stuff. And then the TCW Special Series Outlaw title belt will also be on the line here tonight.
The following contest is a fatal four-way Extreme Rules match and is for the Women's Hardcore Championship.
And you remember the TCW Special Series Outlaw title, again, the toughest title out there to win. A lot of little intricacies, a lot of little rules involved in that stuff. So, definitely something we want to keep an eye on. Monica Monroe.
The challenger from Berlin, Germany, the Pro Wrestling Women's Extreme Fighting Champion.
But Monica Monroe now making her way down to the ring, testing something out here in this episode. But the greatest women's hardcore champion that we have seen in the TCW since that belt came into existence. And the funnier thing about it, I believe she was also the very first one to win it. So looking that up right now, to be fair. Want to keep it accurate, you know what I mean? We want to keep the accurate stats. Well, not technically the first one. The first one to win it since it came back, though. Actually got vacated for a little while, retired, and now trying to put maybe some wins on it again. But she has defended it the most. 6 title defenses in a row.
And introducing the challenger, representing the NWO from Harlingen, Texas, the Crusher, Kyle E. Watson.
Going on, Beast? Welcome to the show. Luminosity, welcome. Eagle Star, I know we didn't do the welcomes. We talked about prime time. Frost Freeman, welcome to the show, brother. Jesse the Jackhammer, what is going on, my man? Welcome to the stream. Witcher, sister, welcome to the stream. Eagle Star getting in first. Prime right after him, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, we go back. If you've gone back and really watched from season 1, it looked like Shyanne, again, one of the greatest women's champions we've got, looked like she was going between her and Kylee, kind of be the first one to go on and win. What's going on, Brooklyn Jokers? Welcome to the stream. but go on and win. Brooklyn fighting here tonight too. There's a lot of people fighting here tonight, to be fair, but win the world title. And it turned out it was Kylee who jumped out and ended up winning that world title before Shyanne.
And introducing the challenger from seasonal residencies, the Extreme Van Alice Lady.
You know, we talk about it. There's been a few people, but Vanessa LeVay, you look at Miguel Morales, both of them backstage really working with a trainer, kind of dialing in their movesets a little bit better. And still, will it pay off in this match here? We've already seen it start to pay off. We've already seen things start to happen. It's a funny thing with Vanessa. Some of the settings actually were off. Oopsie on that part. My bad on that. But those getting dialed back in, and so now, again, starting to build that momentum.
And introducing the champion, representing the authority from Stone Mountain, Georgia, the Women's Hardcore Champion, Victoria Van Diver.
But Victoria making her way down to the ring. You know, and Victoria, one of those wrestlers, kind of shocked. She was like, no, I want to get into this hardcore division. A former two-time world champion herself. So you look at Kylee, former world champion. Victoria Van Diver, former world champion. Vanessa LeVay, former United States title holder. And then Monica Monroe winning a lot of the Special Series title belts and a two-time hardcore champion. There's a couple two-time champions that are out there. You have Heather D, two-time champion. Monica Monroe, two-time champion. Miss Nightmare, two-time champion. Can Monica become a three-time? She would be the first three-time champion that we have for the hardcore title in the TCW. Here we go, getting off to a fast start. And it's interesting that both the world champions, both the former world champions, would go after each other right off the bat. Yeah, I have no idea. I know there's some from Georgia, some from Bama, some from North and South Carolina, some from Texas, quite a few from Texas. It's like half the roster's the SEC, you know what I mean? Now the falls can count anywhere in this match. It is a Extreme Rules match, obviously, for the hardcore title. And interesting which way the referee wants to go. Like sometimes in the ring, sometimes she's out of the ring. And referee, like, really kind of looking at it, like, kind of looked way out of position, but now the more they wrestle, the more in position they're starting to look. And eventually you see the two world champions kind of trading places. And Monica showing Kylee why she is a two-time hardcore champion right now. And there's a number of ways Monica can hit you with that finishing move. She has got that huge stomp. and has about 4 different ways to put it on you. So you don't know. You might come off the rope. She might go up top. She might use that second turnbuckle pad coming off that one. Or she might just straight up hit you with it like you don't know. And look at the headbutts right there, showing you who is the most hardcore in this. And you got to believe it's Monica, but Vanessa also pretty hardcore herself. And I think that's kind of why Victoria Vandiver wanted to get in there, wanted to be able to say, hey, look, I'm pretty hardcore myself. You know what I mean? I'm not a cream puff. Monica talking that trash right there, kind of shouting up after Vanessa. Vanessa, though, trying to get that table. Gets it out, unable to use it, though. And Victoria Vandiver keeps the offense going against Kylee over there on the right side of your screen. You know, we talk about these matches where you got more than one person involved in the matches, and one of the things that you definitely want to do, keep your eye on what's going on. Like if I'm talking about these two over here, you might want to be watching the other two, you know what I mean? Oh, and look at that. That is a lot more devastating than you think. While it's not her finisher, you can see a 2 count right there. But driving the knees, using the body weight of her and Vanessa to go down on the outside. And that's a very, very thin pad on top of concrete. But driving both of her knees into that thin rubber padding on top of the concrete, that'll put an owie on you if you're not careful. Monica now walking it over. Look, Vanessa sees what's going on. And Monica misses the whole thing. But Vanessa able to turn it around, hooks both the legs, but able still to kick out in 2. Victoria trying to get the crowd fired up, and Vanessa's like, hey, this is how we fire up the crowd. We punch each other with elbows. So you know she's going to have to try that out too. She's like, hey, let me get a tryout on that. And look at this. Monica, the smallest wrestler in this match, however, able to pick up Kylee. Kylee, though, that almost looked like it kind of ticked her off a little bit. Vanessa doesn't care if she's mad or not. Turns it back around. And Victoria catches Vanessa riding dirty. And goes right up. Climbs the tree and then drop kicks the tree. And that might do it for the champ. That is Vanessa's finisher right there. And the champ able to kick out in 2. Well, that's Monica's finisher. 1, 2, 3. And Monica just pushed the kiboshes on Kylee's hopes of becoming the hardcore champion. And then there were 3. Monica, look, and that's pretty smart. Monica getting a little bit of distance. Vanessa able to kind of get around it, though. But before she started talking trash back to Vanessa, she got out, got a little distance between her, and then gave her a piece of her mind, though. Vanessa able to kind of get out, get around the steel steps pretty quick, and come back. Oh! Goes right through that kick to the midsection, drops her down, now trying to put some distance maybe between her and Victoria Vandiver, and Victoria using that table to her advantage right there. Vanessa's starting to control what's going on inside and outside the ring, setting up for her finisher. Will Monica step in and kind of thwart her? No! Victoria able to get it reversed back around, though, and look. Monica, no dummy, going right back after that head, trying to use the momentum that was lost by Vanessa against her. And Victoria back up on her feet right now. Remember, though, Victoria Vandiver has got a crazy chokehold type, choke slam type maneuver. Even though it's not choking at all, it starts out that way, but then she gets you up above her head and bring right here. Here it is, and right back down, grabs both feet. 1, 2. And Vanessa still able to kick out in 2. Oh, that's an owie. Sharon versus Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer just won that train wreck. And here it is the champ out, takes it right back down, and now Monica going for the pin. And we will have a brand new women's hardcore champion no matter what happens, but will it be Monica or will it be Vanessa LeVay? What is going on, R2K? Welcome to the stream, brother. Oh, Rotro with SpaghettiOs again, too. But Monica able to kick out and look, gets the crowd pumped up. Vanessa's trying to tell her, hey, slow down. Referee got in the way. Vanessa looked like she was going for her finisher. Monica, though, able to avoid it once, but not twice. Gets it right on top of that kendo stick. 1, 2, 3, and Vanessa becomes the brand new TCW Women's Hardcore Champion. Man, you start looking at some of these moves right here. Some of the stuff that was going on in this match, like you see the kendo stick stuff. You see Monica really getting 2 pins, but Vanessa able to find a way to pull it out in the end. And look right here. She got a finishing move by the champion put on her from the outside of the ring. Still able to find a way to get it turned back around and get the pin on Monica. And she went into it at first, missed it, like right, and then able to get right back and then not just do that finishing move on the outside, but do the finishing move on the outside of the ring on top of that kendo stick. So
here is your winner and new Women's Hardcore Champion, the Extreme Van Alice Lady.
Boy, you just take a shot of that right there, and I'm telling you, Vanessa LeVay after that match looking like the hardcore champion. Now, Witcher getting a shot at Misti Watson for the TCW Women's Television title. You know, it's been a few weeks since we have seen Witcher, and we're seeing an all new look to Witcher as well. But can the TWO member Misti Watson hold on to the Women's Television title, or will Witcher take advantage of her shot and walk away with the title?
Is scheduled for one fall and is for the Women's World Television
No, this is one of the biggest championships. Of course, the world title, right? Of course, United States title. But the television title is what makes sure that you're on, as in the women's division, on every Thursday night Outbreak. That title is defended on television. So, a big deal, a title that actually kind of gives you a lot of exposure. So very, very interesting. It's funny too, this entrance, this special set of moves can only be done with about 40 to 50 hours of gameplay. And that's if you know the trick. Otherwise, it'll take you 70 to 90 hours to get it done. But, you know, there's a trick to it. But it still takes you a long time to get it done. So, if you're on Community Creations and you're trying to download Witcher, this version of Witcher, the version of Witcher, the original Witcher, you got a lot of work ahead of you. You know what I mean? What's going on, JW Caliber? Welcome to the show. Yeah, it's funny, like this year, a little different stance on some things that I've had over the past couple years relating to the cause. I'm a lot more unapologetic about the inability to not share them or to share them. Whereas before I would try like different, and I tried with Witcher. Witcher's cause actually the one that got me to kind of change my mind. It caused a lot of problems inside the universe mode, but lots of lessons learned. But I'm just telling you, if you want to use this version of Witcher, you got a lot of work ahead of you.
Introducing the challenger from the Queen City, the Witch, Tony Cox. And her opponent from Austin, Texas, the Women's World Television Champion, the Grim Reaper, Mighty Watson.
And this is going to be one of those matches where you start looking at the state of these two. Misti obviously going to have the size on Witcher, but Witcher's, you know, Misti multi-time world champion, Witcher multi-time world champion, and in a couple different places. Yeah. Absolutely. You can, yeah. Matter of fact, my Discord is right in the thing. So if the invite isn't working, just let me know. But yeah, right, Nightbot, a couple of things up, has the invite to the Discord right there. But yeah, you can post the invite in the Discord for sure. Lots of stuff, man. If you're really wanting the whole experience of the TCW, you really need to be a part of the Discord. You got to get in there. There are so many things. And you guys have access to the history of the TCW right in there. Yeah, you can go back and watch all the stuff. But if you guys wondered, like, how things were going, you can see it right in the Discord. You want to see the title history? It's in the Discord. You want to see the updates that I make to the cause throughout the year? It's in the Discord. You want to hear the breaking news? You want to see the breaking stuff that's going on? It's right in the Discord. You guys are starting to get probably the gist of everything is right there in the Discord. What is going on? El Grande Britacano. Welcome to the show. And remember, in a match like this, you know, any title matches, you can win the match, but the title belt will not switch hands. And because of something else, I feel like I've got to say it. If the title belt is in no hands, you can win the title belt on a count out. Uh-oh! Red's Redemption hooks the leg. 2, 3. And this is one of those things on what makes Misti so hard to beat. But absolutely crazy, like you see in the match, and Witcher, one of the top female performers in the TCW. But I said this, I said it at the beginning of this season. This could definitely be the year of Misti. Now Misti gets her hands on the TCW television title, and she... But she is not letting it go either. Gets her hands on it, not letting it go. What is going on, JP? Welcome to the stream. I had JP kind of rolling a little bit last night in the SSU. To be fair, I had myself laughing too. So again, there are those nights, and now we already know Witcher getting a shot at the next pay-per-view at the world title. Is this one of those things where she knows Melinda is going to be watching the film? She knows Melinda's going to be seeing the stuff. Is this one of those things where she's like, hey, let me get in the ring, let me do some stuff, let me take the bumps, right? But let me not give away too much of what we're doing here. Let me not get away from how things could be going. Very true. Now, we haven't seen a lot since Zack has won the Cruiserweight title.
Four-way Extreme Rules match. And is for the Cruiserweight Championship.
But we haven't seen a lot of title defenses, but that is mainly because...
Introducing the challenger, representing the NWO from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 205 pounds, the unpredictable N.E.
But that's mainly because him and Vipero have been defending and going after tag team title belts. So tonight, Vipero will be in a match going after the TCW with an all-new look, but going after the TCW Special Series Outlaw title and the Cruiserweight getting defended here in this match by Zack Hamilton. Now, you look at the other kind of like little piece of that, JP winning the United States title recently, finding a way to beat Matt Storm. No easy task, mind you, but finding a way to do that. And I feel like we got to say this, Chillivok also has been working backstage.
And introducing the challenger from Newcastle upon Tyne, England, weighing in at 204 pounds, the King, Cimba!
But has been working backstage with that same partner. So you're going to start seeing Chillivok too, some of the settings jacked up for whatever reason. Chillivok now coming out with his moveset intact. Can he make it happen, though, here tonight? Yeah, you guys missed it earlier. Primetime on a roll, buying all kinds of tickets for the show. But look at this. This is one of those things, you know, we've often called him King Cimba, where we look at it and you can see like quite a few scars on the old body there. He left and now is back. And you can really see kind of leaning into the Lion King, right? Kind of leaning in to the king part of this. You just look at his hair. It looks like a lion's mane all by himself. But can he capture the Cruiserweight title? I ended up buying the Battle for Brooklyn on the wrong account. On my other streaming account, I've got another one. We haven't really used it, but I'm thinking about starting to stream the division here and there. Biggest issue, I've got a lot of stuff going on with the real estate stuff right now and been extremely busy these past like two and a half months. So that's why you've already seen the number of shows go down. Would like to make sure we're still doing 2 shows a week. Not as easy as it sounds, though, so it is something. But here's one of the other interesting things you're going to see.
The challenger, representing American Alpha from Texas, weighing in at 201 pounds, Cowboy Herbie!
We know part of the original American Alpha was Grady and Cimba. Now American Alpha 2 is Grady and Herbie. So Herbie and Cimba in this match together, probably just the two of them, have got something to prove to each other. Which one is better? American Alpha 2 or American Alpha 1? Part of those questions might be answered in the ring here tonight.
And introducing the champion, representing the Syndicate from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 200 pounds, the Cruiserweight Champion and one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Zack Hamilton!
I'm telling you right now, you know, we talked and we touched on it a little bit, but Zack Hamilton and Vipero, they were the Universal Tag Team Champions, now the TCW World Tag Team Champions. And then, of course, Zack Hamilton, also the Cruiserweight Champion, getting a shot here tonight to defend that title belt. Hey, there's going to be some interesting entrants into the TCW Outlaw. We're going to have this match. Then we're going to see Eagle Star and Bama face off against, for the first time this season, Brutus and Wade War Walters. We're also going to see Bobbi Hart versus Angela Star tonight. Miss Nightmare and Alana D will be going up against Heather D and Shyanne. And then in the main event here tonight, Totes McGoats will be facing off against the TWC Junior Intercontinental Champion, Sam Hacksaw. So Sam Hacksaw really getting a prime time slot in the main event here tonight. Can he stand up to Totes McGoats? And look at that. You can see, we talked about it, and look, Cimba's like, no, I'm getting a shot here. I'm going after this guy. Herbie now getting back to his feet. Cimba just trying to handle the business. Zack, of course, handling the business. Dual champion right there. But a lot of opportunities here tonight for Cimba to get things rolling, for Chillivok to get on track, for Herbie, too, to kind of get back, add the little boost. Him and Grady both kind of having some issues going down a little bit, but if he can get his hands on the Cruiserweight title belt, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, that gives him a boost. And then in the tag team matches that he ends, it also ends up helping Grady out, even though Grady's not in the Cruiserweight division. It doesn't give Grady a boost, but it gives his tag partner a boost. Look at that. Herbie looking around. Oh, did you guys just see that? Another big slam. Even though Herbie's a cruiserweight, you can see the Cowboy and Herbie really kind of coming out and really playing more of a power game than anything else. Guys, while we got a minute, remember, drop the likes on the video, subscribe if you're new, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any time we go live. Share the video. Very important that you share the video. Get more people in here doing their thing. Get more people in here enjoying the wrestling antics of you guys that are in the chat and the TCW. It's almost like the battle of the hair on the outside. You got Chillivok with his long hair. Then you got kind of the lion's mane of Cimba. Oh, you can see on the inside, Herbie was getting ready to go downtown. Go downtown on the champ, Zack Hamilton. Zack says no thank you, though. His peaches are not for sale. Everybody from Georgia gets the reference. Zack starting to get things turned around. Looked like Herbie was controlling a lot of things on the inside of the ring. And there it is. That might be all over but the crying too. Herbie, though, able to kick out in two. Now here we go. The King's Arrow hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. And Cimba getting the pin on Chili. You know, coming into this match, obviously Cimba kind of that fan favorite, but I thought kind of the favorite to win the match really was Chillivok. Chillivok doing a lot of work here lately with that wrestling coach in the back. Not over yet, I am sure, but still putting in the work in between the shows. Cimba just putting in the work with the kendo stick. Going for a Hurricane Rana, though. Herbie able to get out of the way. And now Rutro again with your SpaghettiOs. That's another owie. Does he go for the pin? He does. 1, 2, 3, and Cimba and the champ, the only 2 left in this match. The winner will be the Cruiserweight champion. So he's either going to retain or gain a title here in just a minute. So Zack, though, has been on another level also, but Cimba's shown you why when it was only the lightweight title, still was able to do the things. And look at this, diving for that leg, but Zack able to kick out again. Corporate Syndicate really wanting to hold on to as much gold as they can. Cimba kind of just representing the TCW at this point, representing his own kingdom, trying to get his hands on some of that gold as well. What is going on, Insanity? Kind of like insanity. Oh, and hello to the Bay of Iffy. I've got to assume then that is the TWC Women's World Champion. I'm going to guess it's Anita T. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong. Ah, Johnny C. Okay. Johnny C's got some new stuff going on as well. Not in this episode. Oh, thought we had a 3, but look at this. Almost like he went. And Cimba's showing you why he is the wily veteran that he is. Cimba able to get all 3 pins and come away with the TCW Cruiserweight title. And look, right there, you know, you're kind of thinking at that point it's over. He rolls him up, gets a 2 count, and look, it was quite a way, but then almost kind of in the sit on the pot position.
Here is your winner, and new Cruiserweight Champion, the King, Cimba!
But Cimba returning back to the TCW, getting his hands on a title that did not exist when he was here, but he wished it did. So you can see already tonight we've had a 4 or a 5-star match, and now already a 4.5-star match. So absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, the things that are going on. But now we are getting ready to have Eagle Star and Bama Boy facing off against Brutus and Wade War Walters, who is making their debut in this match right now. You're talking about the largest tag team on the planet going up against the Horsemen. So here we go. It is Bama Boy and Eagle Star making their way down to the ring. The current
team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 480 pounds. The Pro
Who is that in the back?
Underground Tag Team Champions, Palmer Boy and the Eagle Star.
Who is in the back right now? kind of staying back in the shadows, but we got the current TCW Special Series 8-man champions, the Four Horsemen, and it looks like somebody is back in the shadows right there, following them down. I don't even know if they realize who it is. Do they even know that he's there? But what would Rowdy be doing with the Horsemen? Look at the state. The Horsemen weigh 480 pounds combined. Wait till you hear the state of this.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 755 pounds, Brutus Walters and Wade Walters, the War Raiders.
You're talking about a combined weight where the Horsemen are giving up like 130 pounds per wrestler. Now, it's not going to be the first time they have wrestled these guys. Probably won't be the last either. And you're right, you saw right down in the bottom corner of your screen, it is Rowdy. Does this mean that Rowdy is back with the Horsemen? You can see him right there. So Rowdy's standing in the Horseman's corner. Is he down just trying to help him out, knowing the size difference? Or is he back with the Horsemen right now? We talked about it a little bit earlier in the show in the opening match. We're like, hey, didn't come down with the corporate syndicate. No other corporate syndicate members came down with them, and then we've seen the corporate syndicate wrestle, and he hasn't come down with them for the first time, and now he comes down with the Horsemen, so definitely something we are going to have to find out and keep an eye on moving forward. Now, Brutus and Wade War Walters have been tagging it up for quite some time. One of the staples of the men's tag team division. You would have been even sicker had it worked, had the right cutscene worked. But it didn't. Now we're making it up as we go along. But look at this, Rowdy talking right there to Brutus. Brutus, though, going back after Bama Eagle, getting back into the ring. And Eagle just sitting there, waiting on Brutus to get back in the ring. So, oh, put him right up against that wall. And then you can see right there, Brutus. Oh, look at Nikita. Nikita talking to Eagle Star. Eagle Star was waiting on Brutus. And Nikita picking and choosing her spots. And allowing Brutus to get in. Because look, even though they've got the size, you got to believe Eagle Star and Bama Boy are going to have the speed on these two, but it's one of those things you can't let them get the best of you and keep getting the best of you, because just pure size alone, you know they're going to be more powerful than the other one. It's just funny, and you know, we don't know for sure, but it does look like one of the original Horsemen is going back to the Horsemen, or maybe is he trying to recruit the Horsemen over to the other side? Like, I don't know. And thank goodness Eagles are able to get out of the way. Bama now, and Bama probably the better of the two to be fighting in the ring right now. Bama more of your striker. Eagle trying to get things back together. Him and Rowdy kind of talking over the strategy right now of how it should go, but Bama really needing to find a way to fight through and start making some inroads against these two guys. Whips him over in the corner. Oh, and I was going to say, that's a good way to do it. You know, you start doing the double team stuff. You start getting the double teams in. That's always a good way to get things going. And watch out! Uh-oh. Brutus. Absolutely brutal pancake right there. Getting a Bama pancake. And Bama, look, I'm going to tell you, like, you look at the size of these guys again. You know, Frankie Two Fingers wouldn't be doing any better, but you look at the size of these guys, and if they're in control, like, it's going to end up being a fast match. It'll be over before you know it, and trying to get him right here, and he does get him. Whoa, Bama, though, gets right back up, and is this the thing that they need? Bama just ate that choke slam, num, 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 like that was just Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And now gets in, gets Eagle Star tagged in. And if he has found a way to get on top, it wouldn't be bad for Eagle to be the one in the ring. Oh, little Karate Jones. Little Karate Jones action. A little hi-ya, chop chop to the top of the head, Danielson. Eagle Star, though, able to take that knock right on the head, fight through it, put Brutus in the corner, but then turn it around in that same corner and fight through it. And that is what it's going to take right now. It is going to take using the ring in any way possible. As many double teams as you can get in at a time. Using the combined strength of both Bama and Eagle Star to start really making the inroads. And look at that huge knee right there. Bama doing his thing. Reach down, try to get that, but then too much pain for Brutus. And look, it's almost like Rowdy getting these guys now on that same page. Oh, that's huge right there. Will he go for the pin? No, he does not. Thought he was going to go for the pin right there. And again, double team after double team. And now these guys starting to make those inroads against them. But look, with all of what they've done, with everything they've done, only one. Hey, what is going on? Vanessa, welcome to the stream. Brand new hardcore champion right there. And Brutus trying to get things turned around. Now, their best shot at getting the win was really like isolating one. But now that Brutus is in, oh, look at the state of that. Boy, that'll end your night with a quickness. Brutus now setting up, or Wade Warwalter setting up for it. Puts him down, and look, Eagle knows. He's like, hey, we're not even waiting around to see if there's a couple counts in there. You know, you got the chest sitter done, and then to get Wade Ward Walters to hit you with it again, hit you from the front, then hit you from the back. You know you got to get in and break that up. Look at the state of that. Vanessa, she's buying a bunch of tickets too. She says, hey, while she's at it. Very, very much appreciated. For sure. Yeah, you guys have gone kind of above and beyond. Did quite a few things in this. So we will have a deep dive podcast coming up, where we'll really start looking at some pretty cool things. Kind of peel back some parts of the onion. Try to get a few people on as well talking about it also. I've been waiting to do this for quite some time. So hopefully we'll be able to get that in this weekend. But yeah, very, very much appreciated. Thank you for that, Vanessa. And I'm glad to see you doing the thing, you know what I mean? Heard you've had quite the time of it these past couple months, so glad to see you getting a little bit of a break right here, if only even for a moment. Oh, look at that. Is that going to do it? Hooks the leg. 1, 2. And look, they're not even jumping in the ring. Like, where you saw Eagle Star immediately going in, jumping in the ring to save Bama, you think after a move like that, Brutus would be trying to save Walter, but they're like, no, we don't even need the saving right now. Walter outside of the ring, almost staring Eagle Star eye to eye. That should tell you the state of some things, you know what I mean? That should let you in on a couple of things right there. And I'm going to tell you, you can see Brutus right there makes a better door than he does a window, you know what I mean? And a closed door at that. And these guys don't even care. These guys don't even care. They just put Bama in his own side and then started doing the stuff. They're like, check this out, Eagle. Watch how this goes downtown. But you can start to see like a little more wear and tear. Eagle's like, Bama's like, hey, let me put you over here too. I'll give you a little bit of some help. Eagle knows what he had to do. He saw him coming too, and he was like, hey, I gotta get back in control. I can't let him do the thing. Swinging neck breaker right there. Goes, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and Brutus thought he was gonna kick out and did not. Eagle coming away with the pin on Wade War Walters. You got to believe that was a mistake on Brutus's part. Like, Brutus had to believe he was going to kick out and then doesn't do it. Right here, you're looking at this huge choke slam off that top rope. Right there, thought it'd be over, but Bama just turns it around real quick, gets him back over in this corner, and gets the very first double team of the night going on. And that right there, you kind of look at it, is where I believe that turnaround started to happen.
Here are your winners, Palmer and the Eagle Starman, the 4 Horsemen.
It's funny though, you know, we look at this match and we actually have more questions than answers. Rowdy coming down with Bama and Eagle Star. Makes you wonder, is he back with the Horsemen? If so, in what capacity? When he left, he said he was tired of being the enforcer, so didn't think he would be back. He's leading another faction. What does that mean for the other faction? Or maybe is he trying to recruit for that faction? Don't even know. Don't even know. But now, we are about to see Brooklyn Jokers try to defend the TCW Special Series Outlaw Championship. Lots of people. Who's in the match? Lots of people. There's 7 other people besides Brooklyn Jokers, and I can guarantee a few of you are in the comments section right now. A few of you are in there right now. But who's going to start this out? We know right now for a fact.
Is a gauntlet eliminator match. The rules of the match are as follows. 2 superstars will start in the ring. At regular intervals, a new superstar enters the match. Elimination can occur anywhere in the arena. The match continues until 1 superstar remains, and that superstar will be declared the winner.
It's funny, these matches give no quarter to the champion, so we don't know in what order people are coming out. It is always random.
Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 235 pounds, the Pro Wrestling Non-Stop Champion, Frost Freeman.
Frost Freeman, the current Survival Champion. Can he get his hands on 2 TCW Special Series title belts? Can he do it? Gonna find out. But when we look at the history of the Outlaw Championship, we know one guy, Rated R2K, won and defended the belt. Gruening won the initial one, defended it one time. Rated R2K won, defended it one time. Can Brooklyn Jokers become only the 3rd wrestler to ever win and defend the belt one time? Nobody's ever defended it twice. But the road to 2 goes through 1.
And representing the Assassins from the bottomless pit, weighing in at 244 pounds, prime time, Shawn Sanders.
The other very crazy thing, though, about this match is this. It is not just your normal gauntlet eliminator match. Oh no. Only 4 people can be in the ring at one time. Only 4 are allowed. So we're going to see if it works how it's supposed to work. Normally this first little part it doesn't. It releases the characters every 30 seconds. It's supposed to be 2 minutes. But right now, prime time, Shawn Sanders. You used to know him as Sammy Shaw. Yep, it's every 30 seconds. But it only works. It'll go to 2 minutes after the next one. Oh, and look who it is. Blaise McCoy making his way down to the ring too. If you remember, Blaise McCoy having to give up because of an injury, having to give up and vacate the Rumble 10-man title belt. Now trying to win the Outlaw title here from position number 3. Frost from position number 1. And prime time from position number 2. What is going on, Wally? Welcome to the stream. And Andrew Dubs, the current king of the ring, getting a shot here tonight as well. You can see the king of the ring will be getting a lot more title shots of all kinds. And look at that move. Like, if you had a guy as big as Blaise do a little 360 twistity-doostity right on top of you with a double swinging axe handle uppercut motion to your chest and chin area, Frankie Two Fingers is out. You know what I mean? Frankie Two Fingers, I'm not having it. He hits me one time. He doesn't even have to hit me with it. He just comes at me one time, and I'm like, nope. I'm going back to the front of the arena. I'm purchasing a ticket, and I'm going to sit in the, because I'm not having it. Sean Sanders putting Frost on the outside in a submission hold. And remember, nobody else is coming out until somebody is out. Only 4 people. 8-man match, but only 4 people can be out at a time. So things have got to get settled. Now, that makes it both easier and harder to win from position 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is an elimination gauntlet match. 8-man. But only 4 people at a time can be in the ring. Now, there should be 2 minutes in between every person coming in. In the beginning, it's some weird thing that they haven't fixed as of yet. It's only 30 seconds until the first elimination, and then it goes to 2 minutes. But one of the most brutal matches to win is this match. One of the hardest matches to win is this match. But R2K proved you can win from position number 1, and R2K beat all other 7 opponents, so it can be done. Look at this, Prime Time getting a little action over there on Blaise. Huge power move on Blaise. Like, you look at Sean Sanders, and yeah, looks freaky. But doesn't look like he's got that power game, and that's where you're wrong. He's a little faster than most heavyweights, but he still has a power game. Not your strongest, one of your faster, more agile heavyweights, but still has some power behind it that you got to watch out for. Blaise trying to control what's going on. But trying to control the action on the outside there, was throwing everybody everywhere. And now, again, Prime Time with another power move on Dubs right there. Frost Freeman trying to tell Blaise to stop in the name of wrestling before he breaks his skull. Gives him the old scunion duster, you know what I mean, with that stop sign. Oh, and it looked like Frost was doing something, but Blaise sees him coming, catches him riding dirty, and then does a little kind of spinny near side schoolboy on him. Goes for the pin, only gets a 1 count, but still, things going on. You can see Dubs, and I think of all 3 of the wrestlers right now, Dubs a little worse for wear. Then again, Prime Time trying to get everybody a little bit worse for wear. Dubs, member of the TWO. What? Shawn Sanders eliminates Frost, tries to talk that trash to him, and the king of the ring hooks onto him and says, no way. But that'll show you what happens on the outside of that ring. That is always and will always be known as the great equalizer. And it doesn't take long to get things turned around quick-like and in a hurry on the outside of the ring. And these guys, like, a lot of times we see stuff going on the inside of the ring, but these guys determined to keep it going on the outside of the ring. Shawn Sanders right now, again, from Sammy Shaw back to Shawn Sanders, a little name change and a change in attitude. Oh, Blaise saw that coming, kind of set him up a little bit, and then rubbing his face into that very thin rubber mat right there. And you look at, it's kind of funny, you look at Blaise and Andrew Doves, both of these guys on the wrong end of some Shawn Sanders business. Both of them wanting a piece of that, but Blaise finally starting to turn that around and then ends up on the wrong side of the Shawn Sanders business again. Who is going to be the next one? It is the brand new look of Vipero Jr. Vipero making his way down the ring. Blaise setting up. Vipero going for a kick, but you look at the just pure size of Blaise able to fight through it. And here it is, hook, line, and sinker, holds on to it, 2. And already a 2 count on Vipero, but that should show you how powerful that finishing move from Blaise really can be. Throws Vipero now into the table. Threatened to hit him. Not hitting him, however. And Prime Time throws Dubs into the ring. Blaise is like, hey, let's get in the ring and do the thing. Vipero's like, no, let me get this baseball bat. Let me get the old Totes Magoats classic black bat. Riddle him this, riddle him that. Who's afraid of Totes' big black bat? Yeah, you know what's funny? We have never seen it lit on fire in this show. I've seen it lit on fire in other shows, though. I don't know. I think that's part of his funny mystique. You know what I mean? Oh, Canadian Destroyer, King of the Ring, trying to put out Shawn Sanders, but unable to do it. Vipero now starting to get the upper hand with Blaise. And I don't know that even if the referee was paying attention, had she seen it. Like, had that been a count out. In 223 or 24 episodes, I've never had it happen. I've seen it happen once in the SSU. I think I've seen it happen once in the LTD. Oh! Vipero trying to show you, like, hey, king this or king that. And Dubs out of the match. 3 more people left. Don't know who they are, but 3 people left. Right now, Vipero, though, and we haven't seen the champ, so this is really giving the champ a really good shot at defending this title. And again, we don't know where he's going to come in at. We don't know the other 2, but we do know the champion is somewhere in this match. referee couldn't have been farther out of position. But she finally got over. Now, I don't think there would have been a 3 count, but still. Oh, look at that! The Predator, primetime. Sean Sanders doing the thing, and then, oh, Vipero ate the table. You know, they're like, oh, you know, seat at the table, I am the table. He just ate the table. And a brand new looking Miguel Morales making his way down to the ring and still waiting to see when will the champion enter. Now the crazy thing is, with all of this, is you look at like what Miguel does. Oh, and here it is. Rosquedio's hook, line, and sinker from Blaise. First move done on Miguel, but it was done on the bare concrete, and that will show you exactly how powerful that hook, line, and sinker really is. Prime time trying to end the night of Blaise after seeing the state of that. If I was Vipero or Prime Time, I'd be like, let's work together to get Blaise out. Because, I mean, Blaise just did a thing. You know what I mean? Oh! 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 Puts him through the table. But Vipero sitting back like the viper that he is, waiting in the wings. But look, Prime Time says, okay, I realize I just went through a table. However, let's get back in this thing. But you can see Prime moving a lot slower than he was earlier. Could this be the champion coming in? 2 people left to enter. No, so the champion is going to enter at position number 8. Kedri now making his way down. And Prime Time puts Blaise McCoy out. But is that really the best move? I know what you're thinking. You're like, yeah, of course it's the best move. But Brooklyn is going to come out, and Brooklyn is no small guy. Remember, Sean Sanders, position number 2, Vipero, position 5, Kedri at position 7. I think Kedri was like, hey, let me just get in the ring briefly so I can say that I made it to the ring. Oh, that might be the end. You can see on top of the concrete, on top of the chair, but Prime Time somehow getting back to his feet again. I don't even know how he's operating. You get pile drivered onto a chair on top of concrete, that has got to be all over. But the crime, but he's still going after it. Kedri, though, not letting it go. And it's not very often that we see the champion come out at position number 8. Normally, like, it's between 2 and 5 typically, but right now, drawing the short straw doesn't mean it's over. You see where these guys are fighting at. The worst part of the ring you can possibly be fighting at. And look, I think here he comes. Here he comes walking down the ring, and these guys would be wise to try to get maybe a 3-on-1 going on right here. A little menage plus 1 trois. How did Prime Time has been in this since the beginning. How did Prime Time even have the strength to lift up Brooklyn Joker? Brooklyn getting out of that ring, though. And Vipero and Kedri have been the ones going after it. You look at the two guys that, oh yeah, they're both like, hey, we're both freaky, so let's go ahead and see which, oh! Oh! Double! Oh, it splits them open. They call him Prime Time, but they also call him the Predator. What is going on? Blaise, welcome to the stream, brother. Now goes for the pin on the champ, but able to kick out. Vipero giving Kedri a little dab. Kind of like Del Cream, a little dab will do ya. And Vipero doing whatever he can to try to get Kedri out. Brooklyn Jokers now getting the better of Prime, but look, they both run into those steel steps that they both brought over. Look at that little splitty action going on there. Then punch right to the old scunion. 1, 2, 3. And Vipero ends Kedri's night. You know, it's funny, you look at the Irishmen, and really, when they're together, rot roast SpaghettiOs, but singles, not quite as much. So Vipero talking trash to Brooklyn Jokers. And then you got Prime Time talking trash to Vipero. And again, if I was Prime Time and Vipero, I'd probably be trying to hook it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Oh, another one. Now, at least it wasn't on that. But Brooklyn might have just saved Prime Time from getting eliminated. Prime Time now trying to get back to his feet. And uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Right into that side. Throws Brooklyn into the ring. But again, Brooklyn coming in at position number 8. Vipero coming in at 5. And then Prime Time coming in at 1. Or at 2. So might as well have been 1. 1 and 2 are pretty much interchangeable. But Vipero really doing some stuff. Sean Sanders really doing some stuff. And, oh, I thought Sean was reversing it around, but doesn't. And Vipero now kind of back in that fight with Brooklyn Jokers. Brooklyn not coming out so much on top of the fight with Vipero, but is coming out on top of the fight with Sean Sanders. So kind of interesting to see how this is going. And yeah, if I was Sean Sanders, oh, they're running around. Oh, he uses that to his advantage. And now using the ring, Vipero kind of taking that step back and picking and choosing, finding the spot. And Vipero, I'm telling you, it's kind of wisely not pinning Sean Sanders. If Vipero or Sean Sanders can get the pin on Brooklyn, that is what they need to do. Like, it's almost one of those things where you're like, man, I would hate to see just the one-on-one with Brooklyn, because if Brooklyn starts to get the better of you, you're in trouble. Right now, you got kind of a little bit of a way out. You can use the other wrestler as a distraction with Brooklyn. But if things start going the wrong way, you're all by yourself. There is no distraction. There is no possible oops and daisies. There's no, let's get a couple do-overs on this. And Brooklyn, this is what I mean. Brooklyn's starting to get on a roll now. About to show you why he's the champion. Vipero's like, hey, I need something bigger. Pulls out another table, but Brooklyn not having the table. Sean Sanders trying to maybe work up some more energy, but look, Vipero not allowing that to happen now. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and that might be a mistake right there.
The next fall will win the match.
Might be a mistake right there. Now Vipero and Brooklyn on their own. And look at that big right hand for Brooklyn Jokers. Is that going to be it? 2. And Vipero finds a way to kick out into, oh yeah, they've all been talking trash this entire match. It's like the new age of wrestler right there. They're like, they don't just want to win. Vipero, can he stay in control? What is going on, Logan? Welcome to the stream. Logan, too, is another one. I feel like Logan might be, and maybe soon might end up being the next guy who can actually beat Drew Hawthorne with the title belt on the line. Maybe become that junior world champion in the TWC. Like, be interesting. Here we go. Goes, grabs the leg. Is this it? 1, 2. And Brooklyn able to kick out in 2. Again, Brooklyn trying to become only the 3rd wrestler in the history to ever find a way to defend this title belt. Can he do it here tonight? Look at the state of Joker's face paint, too. Yeah, Prime, you did really well. Like, you know, from being at position number 2 to become down to the final 3. And it was a fight. Both guys now going after each other, missing. And it looked like Vipero was trying to set Brooklyn up for something. Brooklyn able to get out of the way. And now, watch out. Because that is a lot. You know, you look, oh, knee to the chest, but that is a lot of weight behind that knee going into the chest right there. Brooklyn now walking over, kind of almost stalking his prey. And he was looking, it looked like he was looking for the steps, but earlier him and Sean Sanders taking those steps somewhere else. And Vipero somehow getting the height to get that Pele kick on top of the old Kabasa of Brooklyn. And you can see that Vipero really slowing it down a little bit, really trying to control the pacing of this match. Going back to the well again. And I don't think it's going to be too many more times he'll be able to go back to that well. Little flippity-dippity right there. Top of the noggin to you. Now stop! In the name of Vipero before he breaks your skull. Gets him. Is this it? Do we have a brand new champion? 2. What is going on? Derek, welcome to the stream. Trying to put those finishing touches on the outside. Does it. Head right on to that stop sign. That might be enough. 2, 3, and Vipero becomes the very next TCW Special Series Outlaw Champion. Holy crap, though. You look at that. You want to talk about a match. You want to talk about things going downtown. And really, I think we've seen people go out fast, but I think the first time we ever saw a one move got put on somebody and out. But you can see, and I know it's got to be in here. What is going on, Tony? Welcome to the show. Oh, did they not show it? But Blaise McCoy put the hook, line, and sinker on Miguel Morales out on that concrete. One move, night over for Miguel. And I'm just telling, let that be a lesson to everybody.
Here is your winner, and new Pro Wrestling Extreme Fighting Champion, the Snake,
And this is crazy. You look at this because his tag partner, now remember, Vipero, one of half, right? Half of the members of the TCW World Tag Team Champions. You saw his tag partner earlier tonight losing his Cruiserweight title and now adding the Outlaw title back into that. So absolutely crazy. They lose one title but immediately gain another. And look, we've talked about this. The hardest title to get your hands on right there. Wowzers. Now, Angela Starr and Bobbi Hart facing off. Kind of not really for the number one contendership of the world title. We know who that is. That is Witcher. But this kind of trying to work back up the ladder to get back into it. Maybe this is more like a number two contender match or something of that sort. Now, not officially being called that.
It's scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Birmingham, Alabama, Angela Starman.
What is going on, Vipero? Welcome to the show. You know, that's another crazy thing. Let's look at the history real quick. That's another interesting thing. Nobody has ever won that title belt twice. Maybe Brooklyn ends up doing it. Only 4 people have ever won that title. Gruning, Rated R2K, Blackheart, and Brooklyn Jokers. And now the 5th being Vipero. So, you know, you never know with that what could happen. So definitely something to keep an eye on, to keep an eye out for sure. And this is like, you look at this, another big match for Angela Starr going up against the Universal.
From Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, the Universal Women's Heritage Champion, Bobbi Hart.
So this is like the female version of the $1 Million Championship, the Universal Divas Championship, and the Universal Divas Champion, Bobbi Hart. No title belt on the line right now. The Universal titles typically fought for on the Wednesday Night Wars program, but still, Universal Divas Champion Bobbi Hart getting ready to go up. Former World Champion Angela Starr, so should be a great match. And then, you know, absolutely the top-notch, the creme de la creme, the female division of the TCW right up there. The best of the best. So, the ladies typically putting on a banger, and I see no reason why this won't be another one. Angela, look, kind of baited her a little bit, said, oh, I see what you're trying to do. Obviously putting in the film study, knowing she's going to come out swinging. So ducks over to the side to stay in control or get in control of this match. You can see Vanessa LeVay not a big fan of Bobbi Hart. Guys have had some battles, I think. Angela Starr, though, you know, a lot of times, a lot of people forget, you know, when she did win the world title belt, kind of came out of nowhere. Like, she wasn't even on a roll. She wasn't, like, there wasn't even a build-up. She ends up in this title match and then comes out winning it. Absolutely amazing. Getting her hands on a world title like that. And you can see, like, you think they're both about the same size. Angela actually gives up about 20, 30 pounds to Bobbi Hart. So, needs to use her speed. Needs to stay in control of the match. Needs to use the pacing to get a win here tonight. And guys, while we have some time, even if you're not catching it live, remember, like and share the video. Like, biggest things you can do, let it get out there, let people know what's going on. Invite them in to come watch the TCW. We've got one of our newest subscribers, Tony Horton, in the chat right now, getting to catch some things live. So glad that you could make it in. Glad that you're all here. But always about growing the community. And right now, Angela doing the things that she needs to do to stay in control so far. And you kind of look at this too, you know, Bobbi Hart being, you know, when you look at the titles, like you got the world title, like in the TCW, you got the United States title. In the women's division, you've got the Universal World title, right? That's where we fight against other promotions for those title belts. And then kind of like that United States title is for the TCW, you've got the Universal Divas Champion. Only 3 Universal titles, Tag Team, Diva, and World. And only 3 on the men's side, World, $1 Million, and Tag Team. So, fighting up against somebody, and obviously when you win a world title, you are eligible to fight in the Universal title division as well. So Angela Starr able to do it. I don't know that she has ever taken a shot at any of the Universal titles, so maybe that's something that could be changing in the near future. But you look at this match and it kind of goes a long way. Can she hang with somebody that's in the Universal title pictures? Getting a 2 count already is Bobbi Hart. Now Bobbi's setting up for it. Gets it in something you expect. The sharpshooter, kind of the family heritage on her side. Is Angela going to tap? Doesn't, but look, very wisely kind of lays off it a little bit. Kind of backs out of it. And now grabbing the legs, going after that leg right there. Maybe setting up for it a little bit later. Still going after that sharpshooter. Now we know the sharpshooter, the way she applies it, yeah, does attack the legs, but it also attacks that lower back, that midsection, the body area as well. So anything she is doing there, it is doing that stuff. Jumps around, spins around Bobbi Hart, hits her with the DDT, but look, Bobbi's like, hey, let me get out of here. She probably thought it would take a little bit longer. It doesn't. And Bobbi using that exposed turnbuckle pad against Angela Starr right now, laying the boots. Oh, look at the maneuver right there. Former world champion. Like, don't get me wrong, you've got Bobbi Hart, who has never held the TCW world champion. Angela Starr has. Reverse that around. Angela not holding a universal title. Bobbi Hart has. So, definitely a thing. And you can start to see, oh, look, hooking it in. Is Bobbi going to tap? She doesn't tap, but it kind of felt like Angela knew she wasn't going to tap and did the same thing right there. And now trying to weaken the legs of Bobbi Hart, so maybe that sharpshooter isn't as powerful, isn't as strong, isn't as useful. Now hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and Angela Starr coming away with the win right there. You know, and this is just like one of those things that you got to wonder about. Yeah, you got the Universal, like, division. You got the TCW, you know, with the things. But you've got Angela Starr, who is a former women's world champion. Bobbi Starr, a current Universal Divas champion. And the former world champion comes out on top. So, you know, using that prowess, using the stuff, even though she's given up some of the size, still able to come out on top and get the win. So is this something where maybe Angela will be building up and maybe putting herself in a position to make another world title run?
Here is your winner, Angela Starman.
Yeah, there's a huge difference with this year's game. I know there's always improvements, right? But there's a huge difference between this year's game all the way back to 23. Like, there is things that they're doing, and probably wise to hold off. Obviously, our channel runs off this game, so we couldn't exactly hold off on it, but probably wise to hold off. I know other content creators. You saw Blaise earlier. Definitely go check out Blaise's channel too. If you guys need a link to that, just put, I think it's iBlaise. I think it's iBlaise. I think that's all we need. Let's try it. But I think that will give the link to his channel. Maybe it's iBlaze Radio. Maybe it's the whole, you got to say the whole thing. Or say the whole thing. Maybe you got to type out the whole thing. Or maybe it's blazed with the D and not just blaze. What's going on? It's got to be something. There it is.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, Miss Nightmare and the Necromancer Anna D. The Faces of Fear.
It's crazy. It looks like they're like, forget those hats. They took them off and coming back down the way they used to come down to the ring, but still at the end of the day it is freaky. Guys, if you don't know what we do here, we create all the wrestlers, all the title belts, all the arenas, write the storylines. It is AI versus AI wrestling. We do not control this. Look, Mom, no hands. And a lot of you that are in the chat, that is all cause for the most part, except for our Wednesday Night Wars program. I turn off the commentary because I can't stand it. I do the commentating and then we all watch it live together. No way for me to know even how it's going to go. So while I may write the storylines, I can't control how those storylines go. So we got to play off of that a little bit. But glad that you're all here. Hope that you guys like what you see. If you do, subscribe to the channel.
The X Factor, Heather and Shy Girl Davis. The NWO.
So TWO leader Heather D making her way down to the ring with arguably one of the greatest women's champions of all time, is the greatest in the Universal title division. You look at Aussie, the greatest in the women's world division. So it's kind of between those two, which are starting to make her arguments to be put in that category as well. So absolutely crazy. But the thing that you can see here without a doubt, there is obviously a size difference between the Faces of Fear and the TWO. Can the TWO come out on top here tonight? Thank you, Primetime. Enjoy all of you guys being here. final 2 matches of the evening. Again, ladies, not disappointing all night long. Tag match going off. Shyanne taking it up top, hooking the leg. 1, 2. And already a 2 count. We talk about it when Shyanne gets in the ring. She can end your night with 3 moves. 3 moves, your night could be over. Now whips Alana into the corner. Little double team action going on, going right back to the midsection. Heather D back in the match. Miss Nightmare looking on from the outside, but right now the TWO doing what the TWO needs to do to stay in control of the match. Heather waiting till Alana gets in position. Alana does get in position, and look, both of them now trying to get out of the way. Alana tries to get away, and the old double axe handle coming down. Downtown. What is going on, Spad? Welcome to the show. Here we go. Alana, at first, Alana was actually getting things turned back around. Heather able to get back in control. Looked like Alana was trying to crawl out. Get that emergency tag into Miss Nightmare, but Heather, seeing it happen, stops her. And that is really, when you look at things and how things are going, the TWO's best shot at winning this match. Like, keep one person isolated, and right now that one person is Alana. Alana, though, trying to fight through it, and look, Shyanne yet again. Shyanne trying to block her, but unable to do it, and now Miss Nightmare into the ring. Can she turn this match around for the Faces of Fear? Doing really good. Doing really good, Sped. Glad to see you here, brother. And this is the things that Miss Nightmare can do. Former world champion, former universal world champion. But she can get things turned around quick like and in a hurry. And using the length right now, using her length to make sure she keeps Shyanne at bay, and then using Shyanne, who turns out to be a great teammate right there. You know, looked like Miss Nightmare might have been missing a few reps in the gym. Shyanne trying to help her out. Let her get a few reps in during the match, you know what I mean? But a big boot right to the head of Shyanne, and Shyanne needing to use those ropes to get back up. Miss Nightmare going to use those ropes and show her that she can use it for a suplex. Goes now, pushes that chin down. 1. But still, Shyanne able to kick out in 1. You know, again, we talked about the difference. We talked about the size difference of both of these teams. But Shyanne, no stranger to the size difference. Heather D, no stranger to the size difference, knowing that they've got to use their speed most of the time to overcome that stuff. But Shyanne still, again, like I said, I don't care who you are, she can find a way. Even if it was against Crimson, she can find a way to end your night in 3 moves. If those 3 moves happen in sequence, it could be over. Oh, Alana gonna catch Heather riding dirty. Caught her riding dirty. You know she caught her riding dirty. Yeah, she's riding dirty. Watch out. Riding dirty. She wanted to roll with the gangsters, but so far it's obvious that Alana just caught Heather riding dirty. Rolls up the leg, and Shyanne able to get in and break the count up in time. Now, too, we talk about this when Heather is in these matches. Heather has got a finishing move that if she hits that finishing move, she instantly gets it back again. There's 2 moves like it in the game, both in the women's division. Heather's got 1, Jane's got 1. What is Alana doing? Looking like Looked like she was starting to talk that trash. Heather said she's not having it. Jumped out of the ring. Caught her off guard by sliding right back into the ring and sliding back into the ring quickly. Alana now able to get back in control, get Heather whipped over into the corner. But Heather not going to allow the double team action going on. Oh, that is an owie. Like, I'm just watching that move, and I'm like, whoa, don't know what you call that, but we call it an owie. Miss Nightmare, too. We talk about finishing moves. You know, Cheyenne's got the 8-second ride, but Miss Nightmare has a finishing move that she can hit from a couple different places called the Bone Crusher. And if she can hit it, watch out. Didn't even need the Bone Crusher, and that should show you exactly how powerful, how strong Miss Nightmare is. Miss Nightmare able to get the pin on Heather D, and we have seen a few things from Heather as of late where you got to kind of wonder, is she injured? Is there an injury being involved in her future, and is that what happened? Maybe it did happen, maybe it didn't happen, we don't know. But you can see Alana put one on her already, able to kick out of that one, but then when Miss Nightmare came in with that big move, unable to do it. Rolling up the leg right there and going ahead and getting the win.
Here are your winners, Miss Nightmare and the Necromancer, Anna.
Now you can
Faces of Fear.
You can see how the Faces of Fear kind of set that match up. You can tell by the perspiration on the body, by the paint, the face paint on the face. Alana D really taking the brunt of that match. Miss Nightmare coming in fresh and able to get the win. So sometimes that works out really well. Sometimes it does not. But in this particular case, worked out pretty well. So here we go. We are now in the final match, the main event of the evening. Totes My Goats will be taking on Sam Hacksaw. What's going on, Herbie? Welcome to the stream. You had a match earlier here tonight. So here we go. Totes making his way down to the ring. And what is that? What is Digital doing? Digital attacking the leader of the TWO. And people happen to come out and break him up. And look at this. The king of monsters, the current hardcore champion. And Sam. Look, Sam's in the ring. Sam can't even believe what's going on. Sam, the current TWC Junior Intercontinental Champion. Totes, the current $1 million, Universal $1 million champion. The bell just rang, but I'm shocked Totes can even go on. Digital Dog's the largest man in all of wrestling. And Sam, no dummy, like part of the corporate syndicate, or at least we believe he's still part of the corporate syndicate. He's got the badging, but then again, so did Rowdy. But Sam taking advantage, taking it right, I would say, to the leader of the TWO. But if you remember back, Digital Dogs had talked about one day, he talked about it with Hulk Hogan back in season 6, one day he was going to be the leader, and it looks like Digital making a play for that right here tonight. Sam looking like he is more than happy to make that happen. Sam taking advantage of being in the main event here tonight. Totes, though, rolls it through. One. And only a 1 count, but you wonder, can Totes even get this turned back around? And again, You're looking at the size of the wrestlers. You're looking at the different things that could be going on. Oh! Totes and the referee talking about some things. Totes maybe not liking how the referee is doing her counting. But making it known, and then Sam trying to take advantage of it again, but it looks like Totes is like, hey, you got me one time. We're not going to do it again. If you ever wondered why we're called the Bark Squad, you're seeing it right now, or you're hearing it right now anyway. Main event, though, of the evening. So far in this episode, it looks like the corporate syndicate's got its problems. It looks like the TWO has its problems. Looking like there could be trouble in paradise. But right now, it doesn't matter what problems are going on. And here he goes. Hits him and splits him open with the extraction. Hooks the leg. 2, 3. But wins. Oh, Digital back out yet again. Totes is like, what are you doing? I brought you into wrestling. I introduced you to this thing, and it looks like Digital says he doesn't care. He's going to be the man moving forward from now on. He should be the leader, and he's about ready to prove it right now. Oh! And now Totes hitting back at the hands, going up against the largest man in all of wrestling. Look, they can't even stop Digital from getting to Totes and hitting Totes right on top of the old scunion, giving him a scunion duster like his daddy used to do. But what does this mean for the TWO moving forward? Is Digital the guy, or is it Totes? Who is the TWO gonna follow? That we don't know, but what I do know, guys, is that is gonna do it for us here tonight on the Totes Magoats at the Totes Magoats Wrestling Network. But guys, look, when you're out there in the world and you're doing stuff, you run into people, be the leader in your community that I know that you are. If you're here, there is a lot of leaders that are here. Be that leader in your community. The world very divided right now. A lot of people saying a lot of things that a lot of other people don't agree with. Got it. But don't let that divide us. We can have disagreements. We can have whatever. But don't let that divide us. We're all humans at the end of the day. Show each other a little bit of grace. Maybe that person that's being not so nice, maybe that person needs to be shown the way. That's what I mean by be the leader. Do not let that person's actions reflect your actions. Don't give other people that kind of power over you. Go out there and be good, like custodians of stuff. Show some people a little bit of grace. Now, from all of us here at the Totes Magoats Network, to all of you out there, I appreciate every single thing you guys do. I love you being a part of the community. Make sure you get into our Discord community as well. And from all of us here to all of you out there, we will catch all of you guys in the next one. Peace.